day and very warm welcome to this meditation experience. And today we're going to look at a word I think that really attracts many of us. This idea of self-compassion. I think eventually we all sort of figure out that however we're treating the outer world, whether it's people or things, uh, depends completely on how we treat ourselves. As it said, the relationship with the self is the first and foremost one, even before God. The relationship, even with God, depends on the quality of relationship I have with myself. So, this first relationship with the self, and I've always felt, especially after coming into spirituality, is most of what we suffer from is, yes, a completely deteriorated relationship with the self, but within that, a lack of forgiveness or understanding that we really are not happy with ourselves. And those who are very content are really at ease, are very productive and at ease with others and situations. They move through the world in a very easy, gentle way. They're not critical, they're not intolerant, because they've got this beautiful relationship with themselves. So when we talk about self-compassion, it really is about restoring a beautiful, powerful, respectful relationship with the self, fully understanding all aspects of the self, past, present, future, everything we've been up to, what we're capable of, understanding all of that and nurturing it so that we're at our best. So I'm not sure we'll accomplish all of that in the next few minutes, but we can certainly go in with the intention of understanding that a little bit more. So sitting comfortably, the idea or feeling as I'm sitting here that I'm about to meet a very, very, very important person. How would I sit if I'm about to meet a very important person? Probably be quite excited, quite engaged, quite alert. So sitting with those feelings. And I am. I'm about to meet myself in a very different way. My relationship with myself had become quite superficial at best. Even the way I would think about myself, the name of the body, the things I have, the people I know, what I do, the skills. All of these are very superficial in that they're temporal, they're short-lived. Even this body is temporary. And they're all very subject to change, up and down. So my relationship with the self would go up and down. When things are going the way I want, I like myself. And when they don't, I get frustrated, even disappointed in the self. And that's why I'm coming inside, exploring a different relationship with myself. It's not based on anything temporal. Going to the very core of myself, the very center of my inner world, where there exists a single spark, free of any layers or labels. No culture or language or gender or age or race. Not even any external relationships, just a spark of pure me, right to the point of myself. I even might visualize it as a very, very quiet, tiny, invisible spark of light. That's me, not outside of me. The body is actually outside of me. It's wrapped around me like a heavy cloak. And all the layers I have internalized about the physical identity are hiding me as well. I'm underneath all of that. A tiny spark of life. And that is me. I, the being. I, the soul. So much has accumulated on top of me. I'm not sure who I am. Drilling deep, deep down inside through all the layers. It's almost liberating not to be put in any boxes outside of all the boxes. Just me, the soul, life itself. So valuable, being life itself. And yes, as I traveled through time, I performed many actions and interactions, experienced and expressed many things. Sometimes I did it while remembering myself, connected to myself. So those expressions and interactions were true, authentic. And sometimes I was not. And so I felt less real. Felt I was just trying to take from the outside world to feel good about a self that was not really me. But in this second, this moment in time, I am completely in my own company. Becoming reacquainted with myself. This is an act of self-compassion, perhaps the deepest act of self-compassion. To understand the self. to reacquaint myself with myself. It feels very still inside. No distractions or competing thoughts. Just a single point of absorption. Who am I? What am I really like? Genuinely interested to deeply know the self. I seem a wonder because I am life itself. And even though I'm just a point and free of all these labels, there feels like there's such a depth to the self, not superficial at all. A depth of capacity to me, the soul. A depth of capacity for peace. For understanding, for love. And that it all begins by directing the depth of that capacity towards the self. Even before focusing outwards, I focus in on the self. Allow myself to experience that depth of peace and love and understanding. Let it carve out a true sense of myself. But in fact, I am quite a noble being that suffered only from one thing: forgetting, disconnecting from myself. To have this moment of just being at peace with the self. Knowing that every moment I've done the best I can in that state of forgetfulness. Such a depth of forgiveness within the self. To let that flood through the mind and heart. To have such pure feelings for the self. Not punitive, pure. These are moments of self-compassion, restoring the relationship with the self. And it's only through moments such as this that I can have different quality of relationship with others and even with God. Whatever chance I have, let me engage in these seconds of self-compassion. For the sake of the self and also out of care for others. Om Shanti.